Hello everybody, welcome to chapter 11 of My Teacher Glows in the Dark, which is the third book in the 4-part series of My Teacher is an Alien by Bruce Coville. Chapter 11 is called Anthropologists from Space. Also guys, I have some new books, and I will show you at the end what they are, and you can decide which ones you want to hear after I finish this series. Also, I will probably make lots of audiobooks during the summer. Chapter 11, Anthropologists from Space. I stared at Broxholm for a moment, then whacked the side of my head as if I thought my hearing had gone bad. You, say that again? I asked. You heard me, he replied. The human race has what may be the most powerful brain in the galaxy. He tapped one green finger against my forehead. Trapped inside that skull is a brain that is the envy of every being on this ship. But I'm not smarter than the people here, I said, which was hard for me to admit, since being smart was one thing I had always taken pride in. I paused, then added, Am I? Broxholm shook his head. No, you're not. But you could be. That's part of the mystery. The human brain is not only the most amazing piece of organic matter in the galaxy, it is also the least used brain in the known universe. We've never encountered anything like it. Nowhere seen such a gap between what could be and what is. As he talked, I began to get the feeling that Broxholm was actually jealous of the human brain. Do you have any idea what the rest of us could have accomplished if we had your brain? He asked feverishly. Any idea how it galls us? Any idea how it galls us to see that potential and know how little you have done with it? Oh, I don't know. Any idea how it galls us to see the potential and know how little you have done with it? I shook my head, too amazed to say a word. What terrifies us is what might happen if you learn to use your full intelligence before you become truly civilized. Stars above, if you people find your way into space before you fix whatever's wrong with your spirits, the damage you'd wreak could make what you've done to your own planet look like a forest ranger's picnic. I sat back against the wall, staring at him. What could I say? Why do you think I was on your planet? Continued Broxholm. What do you think was the point of trying to bring some of you back here for short-term study? We're trying to figure out why you act the way you do. We're looking for an answer, a cure, if you want to call it that. He was pacing the floor now, not really angry, but agitated. It turned out that he had studied for years to make the trip to Earth. He was one of a group of aliens you might call anthropologists from space, a team watching the whole human race as if it was a tribe in the jungle. A new question struck me. If you guys are so wonderful, why were you so mean to our class? I asked, remembering the way he had acted as a teacher. Broxholm tugged on his nose, which means he sighed. For one thing, I am naturally gruff. Secondly, I would point out that you Earthlings have a funny idea of what constitutes mean. On my world, we don't worry nearly as much as you people do about talking nicely to each other. We speak the truth and get on with things. On the other hand, we don't leave people to starve in the streets. He paused and added, Actually, my natural gruffness was not the reason I behaved as I did with your class. I could easily have been as sweet and kind as anyone might have wished. However, we're making a study of your learning styles, how you respond to different methods of education. We have an agent working in your town right now who is as nice as I was nasty. It's all part of our study. You mean you're not really a creep? I asked. Broxholm stared at me. For a moment I was afraid he was going to be angry. But suddenly his nose began to twitch. Just a little at first, then faster and harder, as if something was inside and was struggling to get out. I realized that if he was an Earthling, he would have been roaring with laughter. Peter, he said, where I come from, I'm considered to be what you would call a real pussycat. Look, young one, what was the greatest desire in all the world? What was your greatest desire in all the world? To see the stars, I said, though suddenly I realized that my heart was saying something else. I pushed the thought away. It was too frightening. To see the stars, said Broxholm. Don't you think I knew that? Do you have any idea what trouble I caused myself by bringing you here? I shook my head. He paused. Nor need you know, he said at last, other than to understand that I chose to ignore a powerful command for 2 reasons. The first was that I owed you a favor for helping me escape without having to hurt anyone. I shivered as I realized just what Broxholm meant by that. What was the second reason? I whispered. He spread his hands. I like you, he said. I blinked. Why was I starting to cry? Thank you, I whispered, feeling really stupid. Broxholm put his arms around me. You poor boy, he whispered. Then he stood and turned away. Oh, you poor people, he said, so softly that I could barely hear him. You poor, sad, wonderful, so full of love and hate, hope and sorrow and need. Oh, hope and horror. Sorrow and need. He made a terrible rasping sound, and suddenly I realized that he was weeping for a planet that wasn't his, and all the pain that he had seen there. I ran to him, threw my arms around him. Then the 2 of us stood in the center of my room and cried until we had no tears left. That's the end of chapter 11. There are 10 chapters to go. Technically, that's not a lot. These chapters. I mean, if you're listening to all these in a row, it might take you a little over an hour. Hour and a half, maybe? Anyways, let me show you the books. They're over here. Okay. On my wonderful bookshelf. There's not that many books here, but whatever. So, we have The Greatest Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which is a pretty thick book, as you can see, if you look at that thickness right there. And then that doesn't matter. There's The Box for Children, The Haunted Cabin Mystery. We have Harry Potter, and Nancy Drew and Hardy Boy's Super Mystery, called The Best of Enemies. Nancy Drew Mystery, The Scarlet Slipper. The League of Seven, which I have not read. This is The Mysterious Benedict Society, which someone at my school said was really good. Star Wars, Queen Shadow, The Box for Children, Mystery Behind the Wall, The Window Mystery, and Frindle. Oh, the books are falling. Anyways, Frindle is a really good book. Me and my sister are reading it at the moment. It's pretty good. But don't worry. I will finish My Teacher is an Alien book 3 and 4 before I begin another audiobook. So, I also got a few over there on the stairs. But anyways, if you saw some over there that you would want to hear, put in the comments. I'll show it on my screen. Anyways, see you guys next time.